Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of ITW, the show that's going to help you enhance instruction through innovation.
We have a great episode today. We're talking 10 strategies to help you maximize the use of an LMS in your classroom. So what's great about this episode is the fact that we're not going to focus on one specific LMS.
Yes.
We're going to talk about all of them.
Right, and there's a lot of different options out there. We can see a variety of them, so we didn't want to just hone in on one. So today we're going to talk about strategies that would work on almost all of them. So we want to make sure that we cover our bases. So you're going to see this particular episode, we are going to show examples, but it's not going to be just one. It's not going to be just Google Classroom. It's not going to be just Canvas, so on and so forth. We're going to try to run the whole gamut, so you'll see a little bit of everything. But whatever we talk about today, it'll work on all of them. So make sure you stay tuned and check out these strategies for maximizing your LMS.
All right, to kick off our 10 strategies to maximize your LMS, I want to talk about communication. Communicating is one of the key advantages of having an LMS. It gives you a lot of different ways. For example, you have calendars. Most learning management systems come with a calendar where you can put things on there. Whenever you create assignments, a lot of them will automatically post assignment due dates on your calendar wall for your students to see on their individual calendars. You can also communicate with them individually, sending positive messages, notes, alerts, things like that, where you can send these messages to your students. So taking advantage of these tools on your LMS is one key way where you can maximize the use of whichever one you're using. Collaboration and interaction is another great strategy that you can use whenever you're using learning management systems. A lot of them have tools like a discussion board or some feature like that that allows students to comment on based off of a discussion post or a video or whatever you posted, and allows them to interact with one another and through replies and comments. So taking advantage of that is one great strategy that you can use in your learning management system. Assessments is another key component that most learning management systems have. You can utilize these assessments to measure students' progress, or you can use them as a way to let students review for maybe another test that they're going to be using later on in the week. So you can put these within your learning management systems. They can interact with these within school, at home, and they can get feedback right away. So using these assessment components of your learning management systems is another great strategy that you can use. So before we talked about using quizzes as a key component for learning management systems, but the ability to analyze that online digitally is another great thing that LMSs provide to teachers. So the ability to be able to look at a quiz and get information about the quiz itself, how your students are doing, the ability to get a student analysis, item analysis. It gives you, a lot of learning management systems give you summaries on how your students did, and this is a great thing for teachers to utilize to inform their instructions, to make decisions on what they want to do next. So this data and this feedback that the LMS can give you for quizzes is a key component of maximizing your LMS. One of the great things that you can use your learning management systems for is to blend your classroom. You can start using this to kind of transform how your classroom is set up. Maybe you use some of the materials that you post in your learning management system as a part of a station rotation model that you have in your classroom. You can post a variety of different media types in here. You can put videos in here for students to watch. You can put websites that you want students to interact with. So there's a ton of things that you can do that will transform the way that you use your learning management systems. It's a great way for students. You can even flip your classroom or even flip PD if you're doing that with staff members. You can make it so that your students are getting the simple knowledge at home and expanding that when they get into the classroom settings. So this is just one strategy: blending your learning, flipping your classroom, using your LMS.
The sixth strategy to maximize your LMS is to use it as a library of resource, and this means housing any materials that you use in your course. These materials could be different presentations, whether it's a PowerPoint or a keynote, as well as handouts or instructional notes that you want your kids to have. You can also share different video-related information with your students, whether that be videos that you found online or actual videos you've created for your students to watch. Another thing is you can also share websites. Maybe you found a website and you think it pertains to what you're talking about in a certain unit, and you can share that. So it's a great way to house your resources. The seventh strategy to maximize your LMS is the ability to have student-led conferences. Many LMSs give you the ability to have these conversations electronically. Student data is available to teachers and students to discuss their progress 24 hours a day. This also allows students to see the areas of strength as well as areas that need improvement, which will allow the students to take an ownership of their learning. The next strategy is the ability to co-teach or share resources inside your LMS. LMSs are great because they really allow you to work with other teachers, and whether or not this working is working inside your school, your district, your state, or even outside the entire country. The LMS really allows you to become a global teacher, whether you're conducting a lesson or whether you're sharing resources with those inside your school or across the country. The next strategy to maximize your LMS is the ability to post assignments. You can actually put assignments and the students can view them, but not only do they view the assignment, they actually will be able to view the date that you want them to turn it in. This really allows them to work at their own pace. So if you put your assignment for units ahead of schedule, they can actually go ahead and work at their own pace. When they're done, they turn in their assignment digitally. So this really gives the students, once you grade that assignment, it gives the students to see immediate feedback, to see what they did wrong, as well as to see what they did well in their assignments. The final strategy to maximize your LMS is documentation. This is a great way to communicate not only with your students, but also with their parents. It allows them to see the due dates for different assignments or projects, so this way they can't come up to you later on and say, well, I didn't know when something was due. And if you have them submit these assignments online, you can actually see when they're turning those assignments in. It's also extremely good for seeing student activity, what they're posting, when they're posting it, is appropriate for the lesson at hand. And finally, another great way to document in an LMS is to use an e-portfolio.
All right, so those were some strategies, benefits of using a learning management systems. There's a lot of good ones out there. I know a lot of us have been started using Canvas. It's the one that the state adopted. It's a lot of things that you can do with it. But there's other options out there, and we just wanted to give you some ways to use them regardless of which one you choose. So those are just a few strategies that we came up with. So as always, make sure that you guys check out our CLN blog. We try to keep things updated and posted those things, extend the conversation. So make sure you guys go and check out the blog. And also continue submitting Innovative Teachers of the Month.
Great ones.
We're always checking those. We keep getting some really cool ones. So we encourage you to continue to do that throughout this month.
Guys, if you have any comments or questions, make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter. Our handle is @CMS_, or shoot one of us an email with our CMS Learns email address. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you guys check us out next week for another edition of ITW.